Hello, BookTube. Another book shelf tour. We've been doing these, and we've been doing these. We've now turned the corner past the TV. It's easier for me to do it here. There's no real way for me to set up the camera over there. So we're going to do two blocks. These, here, black. Take my finger off. Wooden. These are IKEA shelves in here. I like them because the books slide in and out easy without any damage. But we're going to do two of them. Not tomorrow because I've got meetings all day and evening. But we will do two more that will finish this section. And then we will be on to, it looks like more modern Greek type literature. So we'll start out here again, sort of a theme, Folio Society. He's Winnie the Pooh. I don't know if we're getting it with all the glare. These are the complete Winnie the Pooh by A.M. Milne with decorations by E.H. Shepard, the Folio Society. I like the Shepard illustrations. When my oldest boy was born, his mom and I got his whole room was with the Shepard style illustrations for his little baby room. So here's the poems right here, and this is the complete poems for Christopher Robin. The end papers. I have read all these to my kids, and gladly love them, absolutely love them. So this is, let's see, 1989, for coloring. There's all sorts of, let me get you a good page. There you go. You can get an idea with that, how these are done throughout the whole book. Then next, we have the House on Pooh Corner, this blue color, again the same illustrator. Like these end papers. Uh, 2004 by Folio Society. And then, of course, in red, Winnie the Pooh. The end papers. Folio Society, London, 2004. And again, just throughout with these little Shepard illustrations. So, yeah, sort of a part of our family class. I've said before, this library, I'm of a school that believes you build, in my case, I want to build a family library. So a lot of times I'm keeping stuff that I probably won't ever read in the hopes that the kids will inherit them and treasure them. And if they don't, well, I will be long gone and won't know. They pay good lip service to it. So this next one is the Alexandria Quartet by Lawrence Durrell from this Dutton publication. I read this ages ago, so Justine Belshazzar, Mount Olive, and Clea. Again, I don't think I would read it again, but I may. This is 15th printing of 1962, so it's not really a collectible or anything. Well, I guess it could be for somebody, but so that is good. I know there's a lot of people actually like his brother's writing, nature writing, or that sort of thing. The next one here is a folio. This is The Spy's Bedside Book by Graham and Hugh Greene. This book I really enjoy, and I do take it out occasionally because it's short pieces. I've read it through a couple times. This is it's an anthology edited by Graham and Hugh Greene, introduced by Stella Rimington, illustrations by Nick Hardcastle. So it's London, 2006, the Folio Society. And just little pieces So you have T. Lawrence, Peter Fleming, Fenimore Cooper, W.H. Auden, John Buchan, Eric Ambler. Who else here? Anything? Ian Fleming, that sort of thing. So, just with these spot illustrations that are great fun. What actor does that look like? So, The Spy's Bedside Book. Then moving along, speaking of Graham Greene, we've got the Penguin Black Spine Classic, Our Man in Havana. I like the cover. Excellent novel. It's been a long time since I've read this, and it might be due for a reread. Not that I have anything else to do. This is one I just picked up and I have not read, but is on the TBR, and that's The Pursuit of Love and Love in a Cold Climate by Nancy Mitford. I picked this up when Steve Donahue was up here, and we were out on a hunting expedition for books, and I had heard of it. Didn't know if I was really ever going to get to it, and asked Steve, and I ended up buying it. Then this is one I grabbed in the hopes that I would find further volumes. And it's Osbert Sitwell, and it's The Cruel Month, which is volume 1, Left Hand, Right Hand, an autobiography. I read through part of it, even while I was waiting, hoping to find, it feels like such a tall book. But I'd never found the other ones, and it wasn't a big enough deal for me to hunt down the rest of them. I may end up not keeping that. I may end up letting that go. So that's what the shelf tour is for, right? When I get upstairs. So I probably have a couple thousand books down here. As many, if not more, upstairs. There's going to be some, like this part of the collection is, these things are, for the most part, except for once in a while, something like that, I'm going to keep. I may be doing a fairly decent weeding project upstairs. So we will see. It is something I am considering. So next we have one of my favorite books of all time, T.H. White, The Once and Future King. Retelling of the Arthurian legend, with the famous Sword in the Stone, the Queen of Air and Darkness, the Ill-Made Knight, and the Candle in the Wind. If you haven't read this and you like King Arthur stuff, this has got to be on your list. It's just, I love it. And then to go with it is T.H. White, the Book of Merlin, which is the unpublished conclusion to The Once and Future King, prologue by Sylvia Townsend Warner, illustrated by Trevor Stubley. And yeah, these University of Texas Press, Austin and London, printed in the United States of America in 1977. And there you go. We're going to move into a bit of a stretch of John Fowles. I like John Fowles. Well, let me start with the novels. So here we have Daniel Martin. There's the author. Let's see, intricate portrait of relationship among four people, painted with a masterful combination of compassionate characterization, innovative style, and stimulating ideas. Successful English playwright and Hollywood scenario doctor returns to England at the request of his friend Anthony Mallory, who is dying of cancer. While there, Martin is also reunited with his ex-wife and her sister. So, when did this come out? This is Little Brown and Company, Boston. First edition, 1977. These things were immensely popular at the time. I don't hear quite as much about them as I used to. This is A Maggot. There's the author. This one is mysterious events surrounding a journey undertaken by 5 unrelated but nonetheless interconnected individuals are the foundation of John Fowles' mesmerizing novel of the 18th century. When one traveler is found hanging from a tree and another vanishes into thin air, an inquiry is undertaken. So this is, again, Little Brown and Company, Boston, Toronto, and it's 1985. And yeah, this is the opening sentence of the opening paragraph. It is, I'm not going to read it to you, but I always enjoyed it. So there is that. Then maybe one of his more famous novels, and also was made into a movie at least once that I know it. French Lieutenant's Woman. This came in Little Brown and Company, Boston, Toronto, and this is in 1969. This is a second printing, and yeah, another one of those novels I've really, really enjoyed. I really enjoyed him, and I also enjoy his essays and occasional writings. This is an example of that. Wormholes. So has a $2 sticker on it. And this is, wait a minute, did I go past the page here? Yeah, because it looks like we have a, I don't know who got mad at who, huh? Yeah, because this is Henry Holt & Company, New York. Edited and introduced by Jan Ralph. So this is just what it says it is essays and occasional pieces. I really enjoyed. This is autobiographical writing and the self, literature and literary criticism, culture and society, nature and the nature of nature, and an interview. Really, really, really good book. But to my surprise, the thing I ended up, and I like the novels, I really like them. I like the occasional pieces, like them even maybe a little more than I do the novels. But what I really get into, and I only have the second volume of this, and I've been dipping in and out of it for a while now. This is the journals, John Fowles, and mine's volume 2, 66 to 90, edited by Charles Drazen. This is really interesting. It's a little bitter take on it. I don't, like I say, I will look, and someday I will run into the first volume. So this is Alfred A. Knopf, New York, 2006. But yeah, he moved with people in the theater community, movie community, because of his own work. Literary community, obviously. Yeah, this is just loaded. Every once in a while, I think there was pretty decent notes, yeah. So there's pretty decent notes, so if I get too mixed up, or you can always go to Wikipedia and look up some of these people. So this is a review copy from Alfred A. Knopf. I did not get this sent to me in, when was it again? 2006 to review. So I found this in a bookstore or a charity shop or something. Like I say, this has ended up being a really, really fun read. I stopped reading because I got so many projects, but I need to get back to it. So that's it for John Fowles. And then we have here Ross Poldark by Winston Graham with the new series cover. We get that on. We watch this over here on PBS. I always liked. I watched. I think it was the 1970s or maybe it was 80s. I think it was 70s where they did the series originally. Really liked those and thought, well, why would you need to do it again? Watch these and really like those. So good story. Good story. And this one here is a recent find. This is Marjorie Fleming by Oriel Malay. This is the only one of this publisher's books I have that I know of. And this is a Persephone book from London. And this is from 2000. It's quite a lovely thing. I have not gotten to it. I like the feel of it. It's got these nice French flaps over the same exact cover. So they're not really French flaps. See what happens when you pull apart a book and you start realizing things. Here's the end paper. So I misspoke. It's a paper, I don't know if you get it there tight enough again. Yeah, this was 2000. First published in 1946 by Faber and Faber. I say, just got this. I saw somebody on BookTube with a few of these books. And so it made this stand out to me. I'll give it a read. Yeah, I've seen if there, oh yeah, there's a little more here. So if any of you know about this publisher or this book or have opinions about it, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to hear. And then, appropriate enough, our last volume is one I haven't read in ages, but I enjoyed. This is Folio Society, and this is what it looks like. A little thin thing. If I can get it out of here. Love the cover. This came out in 1978, Folio Society. The Hole in the Wall. Arthur Morrison, introduced by Peter Forster, drawings by Val Biro. The drawings are wonderful. Let me see if I get a couple here before I tell you about the book. Oh yeah, here we go. He's got his fiddle. Oh, here's another one. Here he is again. Okay, and when did this originally come out? First published in 1902. London to most people and most guidebooks means essentially central London and the West End, the area of chief monuments, galleries, churches and parks, and theatres, and the best-known shops. Distance to London is calculated to or from Hyde Park Corner. The ballast of the capital is, as it were, distributed between the Bank of England and Harrods Store. But if you go beyond the bank and the city, still staying close to the Thames, which soon does an immense U-bend around the Isle of Dogs, you are in the East End, in a very different London indeed. So, yeah, that's the story. Now this, what did I say, 78? So I'm no expert on London, but my understanding probably has changed quite a bit since even that foreword was written to this book. But a good short read and very interesting. So that is the shelf tour. Like I say, we have one more of these before we move into an entirely different part of Europe with our literature. So I thank you for sticking with me this long, and I hope you have a good week. Thank you, BookTube.